Hello everyone, here's another beginning guitar lesson. This is actually one of my favorite songs. It's a great song. It's called We're Out of Time, and again Pfirrman is the singer on it, and I just love this synthesized pop feel to this one. Listen to the synthesizer. That's just so rich in its sound. Now that's digital. This is analog. So obviously we can't do that. I mean, you could hook up all sorts of effects and breach into the digital domain with all sorts of effects boxes and stuff like that. But that's a different lesson. So I like this song so much that and the singing is great too. So it's like. So each chord has 5 beats. I'll just pluck it. Come on. Each chord has 5 beats. Kind of like that. It's a D minor. To that G minor is a really effective chord progression. Now I'm playing it all in the first position. A lot of people would play the G minor as a bar chord, and this whole song has bar chord capability in it, and I'll show that later, but I want to try to do it so that everyone can play it in the first position and learn these basic chord structures, including the bridge, which is pretty cool too. So anyways, there's 5 beats. You could play it a different way. Taking the first finger off and playing a sustained kind of chord. It might be more of a B flat in the bass. I'm not sure yet. Into a C add 9, I guess, or add G. So it's a C chord. I'm using the little finger on the high G because that's where the melody is. In that G minor, well, if you look at a G chord, a normal G chord, as I always say, you flat the third to get the G minor, get the minor chord. So if you wanted to just play on the 4 bass strings, you could just finger those 2 notes, which is pretty cool. I'll break this all down clearly later. And the melody goes, so you can kind of play the melody on the A string, A, open G, F. That's all in G minor. Fine. Here's how you would do a G minor in a bar chord. So this chord sequence is a D minor, some kind of suspended D, a C add the G, the G minor. It just repeats that. And then the singing comes in, and it's exactly the same chord sequence. And then there's that melody at the end of it, which is something like that. Let's get into the melody.
I see everything around me changing again and again.
Okay, I got it.
I see everything around me changing again and again.
Oh, can do with this software? I can slow it down. Oh, isn't that nice?
I see everything around me changing again and again.
So basically, that would be all you would need to do on a guitar to do a chord melody on this. Just play in those notes. D minor into kind of an A7. I'm actually playing an A minor there, but I'm just playing these two strings and picking through it. Into a C. That would be the G minor part. I feel, it's what are the lyrics here? Let me look at the lyrics. You know, when you're learning songs and you want to try to do the melody, learning the lyric is great. The way music and songs work is that you have two halves of your brain, and the left half is for the lyrics, and the right half is for the melody. And they work together. When you're listening to music, both sides of your brain are working, which is really nice. That's one of the things about listening to music and songs and ballads, singing. It exercises both sides of your brain, and then it's a synthesis of those two conscious things which are going on to create the emotional fulfillment that the song is trying to deliver to you. So you have to learn the lyrics, and then you can try. I'm not a singer, but I try to hear the notes along with the lyrics. So the lyrics are, I see everything around me changing. I can't sing it, but my guitar can. I see everything around me changing. And then again and again, again and again, again and again. I see everything around me. Oh, that wasn't right. I see everything around me changing again and again. Okay, so memorize the lyrics and then play that back in your head when you're trying to do the melody on the guitar. So let's play it slowed down.
I see everything around me changing again and again.
Okay. So I'm going to go to split screen and we'll break this song down and we'll get to it like something like this. It's a nice song that could actually be sung and performed at a slower rate instead of dance tempo. So let's. But we don't have to play it that fast. Now it has a chorus. Let's get to that. Let me see if we can find that here. Oh, that's no good. So it's like has four courses. All right, here it is. All right, so it repeats right there. Okay, so basically what's happening here is an F, C, D minor, B flat. So we'll do this in beginner mode. So the F can just be played with the top 3 strings. The C with the top 3 strings. A D minor with the top 3 strings. Now this one's a little more of a problematic one for some people. You can use your little fingers and this finger together. I like to play it this way. So I'm stretching. So we're at B flat can be played up here. So I'm using these triad chord positions, which is cool in of itself. And you can augment it with so there's that version of it, which we can, well, it's probably the best one to learn. Familiarize yourself with these 3 finger chords in the bass. If you really wanted to rock out with it, which is what I would do if I were like performing this as a guitar song, is I would do a rhythm with it. So like a rhythm technique, something like I'm playing bar chords throughout. So that would be a bar chord guitar lesson for you. So there's a lot of possibilities with this one. And let's break it down. And of course, I'm going to do a music video with this song at the end. You know that. So stay tuned for that. But let's go through the note by note part of this now. Okay. So first, let's just do the beat part. So I'm using 4 fingers on each of the 4 strings, starting with the D string for the D minor position. First finger, second finger, third finger, D minor. Now take this finger off. That's probably the most effective approximation of this. So it only does 3 beats and then comes back to the D minor. So it's first, into a C, and you want your little pinky to go onto the G. So you're going to do the C chord position, but you're going to do your pinky on the G. And then this beautiful G minor, which hardly anybody ever plays on a guitar. So here's your G, flat the third, use these two fingers. The strings below it are open, although I like to put on, well, we don't have to, just do it this way. Okay. Now the melody, so you could play some of that if you wanted to in a guitar arrangement, or you can just do right into the guitar finger picking melody part of this. So I'm 4-string pluck, arpeggio, this note, so I'm not moving very many fingers here. It's so it's so I come in for a strike. So practice this part. I'm just going into a regular C and playing the 4 inside strings. At the end, sometimes I do that little, so listen for it. And then the G. And we're going to go right into the melody. So you want to put your middle finger on the A, G string A, when you're playing the G minor. So you want to hit that right away. Then take it off for the melody. Little finger on the F, and then back to the open G. So this will be a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so that goes like 4 times, and you could try to sing it. I feel like everything is changing. Changing goes right here. Changing is on the C. I feel everything is changing around me again and again. Okay. All right, and then for the chorus, I'll show you this. A full F is like this. It's the E position moved up. That'll be your bar chord F. This would be a partial F. You learned this in the last song I was teaching. But we're going to simplify it even more. We're just going to play 3-note chords in the bass. Just practice this plucking again, using 3 fingers. Into a C. So this is the low end part of the C. Middle finger on the 3rd fret. Ring finger on the 3rd fret. 1st finger on the 2nd fret. You can play this whole thing as a C major. C major 7. We're just going to do this part, so it's slide these two fingers up to the 5th fret and do a stretch and make this first finger work for that F note on the 3rd fret. So up to the 5th and this one on the 3rd. Just begin to pluck those low notes. And then we're going to kind of invert this chord position to this and slide it up to the 6th fret. So 6 and 8 and 8. So practice this part. And then you can add a little orchestration to it. Okay, and since we're here, I'll show you the bar chord version of it so you can practice your bar chord positions. So F is barred on the 1st fret, and then that E position, that E shape. And I'll tell you about this hand. This particular strumming technique is just a downstroke and then a rasguedo, which means you're just going da 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 da, like a fan opening up. So downstroke with the 1st finger, and then that fan. The thumb follows through, and then an upstroke with this thumb, and a tap slowly. Sometimes I do another upstroke. Alright, F. C is this bar chord, 3rd fret. D minor, this is your A minor, slid up to the 5th fret. B flat is going to be the A, 1 step up. And it repeats. So even if this isn't exactly what's happening in the synthesized version of it on the song, it's pretty close, and you can play with this and move it around a little bit. Now, one other thing about bar chords, hitting these A position bar chords, it would be very difficult to do it in time. If you tried to play it with all the fingers at once, you can do that. Probably I do that some of the time. But I have found that I just use my pinky, and this part of the pinky bends to hit 3 strings. This is going to cover all 3 strings. Those middle 3 strings where you're forming the A position. So like when I'm hitting this C, I'm actually just using the pinky, and it's covering those 3 notes. That will take some work, but well worth it to give you the speed you need to get into those kinds of bar chords. You could play this B flat up here too, on the 6th fret. So that's the E position on the 6th. Now that's good because you can slide it back down to the F. So let's get on into this music video, and I'll play the whole song. The lovely voice of Pfirrman's featuring it, and I'll probably dominate in this music video, just because that's how it works sometimes. Enjoy!
'cause it's fading